Good day, everyone. Welcome once again to part 3 of the lecture, What is Epistemology? This lecture is coming to you from our channel, Philosophy Lectures with Professor Tunde Akande. In this part, we are going to be talking about the importance of epistemology. The importance of epistemology. Remember, in our part 1, we talked about the definition of epistemology, which we defined as the theory of knowledge, and which we explained again to mean an intellectual activity which probes into the nature of knowledge. In part 2, we talked about the various concerns of epistemology with the concept of knowledge, after mentioning that the subject matter of epistemology is the concept of knowledge. We mentioned there that epistemology is concerned with the process of the interaction between the mind and the external world when we acquire knowledge. The process that is involved when the mind interacts with the external world in the course of knowledge acquisition. We also mentioned that epistemology is interested in distinguishing between knowledge and opinion, and we mentioned that while knowledge is certain, opinion is not certain, and that you don't use the word know when you are not certain. When you are not certain, you say, I believe, or I have an opinion. Okay? We also mentioned that epistemology is interested in the knowledge that is produced in other disciplines, because epistemology sees itself as the custodian of knowledge, since it is in the business of knowledge production. So any other discipline that claims to be producing knowledge, epistemology wants to probe into it to see whether what they are doing is actually the production of knowledge or not. So in this part, we are looking at the importance of epistemology. Why is epistemology important? Even though we have touched on it in the other parts, but this is a dedicated section to this topic. Now, on the importance of epistemology, Joseph Roland et al. Say as follows: epistemology is the explanation of how we think. It is required in order to be able to determine the true from the false. By determining a proper method of evaluation. Epistemology helps you to probe into the nature of our knowledge, so that you can get to know what is true from what is false. The importance of knowing what is true from what is false cannot be overemphasized, because just imagine where you have a fake friend who poses as a true friend. The dangers can be better imagined. So epistemology is important because it helps us to determine what is true from what is false. In other words, it helps us to determine what is fake from what is genuine. Okay? And it does that by determining a proper method of evaluation. Epistemology is needed in order to use obtain knowledge of the world around us. Without epistemology, we could not think. More specifically, I'm still quoting Joseph Roland and co. Without epistemology, we could not think. More specifically, we would have no reason to believe our thinking was productive or correct, as opposed to random images flashing before our mind. With an incorrect epistemology, we would not be able to distinguish truth from error. The consequences are obvious. The degree to which our epistemology is correct is the degree to which we could understand reality, and the degree to which we could use that knowledge to promote our lives and goals. Flaws in epistemology will make it harder to accomplish anything. So, that is what Joseph Roland and co. have to say on the importance of epistemology. Now, what are they trying to say? They are saying that the degree to which our epistemology is correct is the degree to which we could understand reality, and the degree to which we could use that knowledge to promote our lives and goals. Life is a definite phenomenon. Life is not a meaningless sequence of events. So, it has principles, it has rules. The more you understand those principles, the more you understand those rules, the more you are able to utilize them to promote your life and goals. If you do not know the principles of life, you'll be working against the principles, and they too will be working against you. Because, as I said, life is not a meaningless sequence of events. It's something definite that has rules and principles. So the more you understand those principles and adapt yourself to them, the more life will work for you. He said, flaws in epistemology will make it harder to accomplish anything. So we are able to adapt to life, and life works for us when we understand the principles of life and adjust our ways to them. It is like swimming in an ocean. When you swim against the tides, when you swim against the direction of the ocean, the difficulty you will encounter can only be imagined. But when you swim along the direction of the ocean, you will actually be floating, and the ocean will just carry you along. So that is what we mean by saying that when you understand life, when your epistemology of life is correct, then you'll be able to make life work for you, because it will just be like that ocean along the direction of which you are swimming, and then the ocean will just be carrying you along, and you'll be floating along. You'll actually be floating along. So when your epistemology of life is correct, that is, when you know life, when you know the principles of life, then life will work for you, and you will be able to enjoy life. That is what we mean by that aspect of the importance of epistemology. Again, epistemology is important because knowledge is discovery, and knowledge is power. Epistemology is important because knowledge is power. Now, how is knowledge power, and what does it mean to say that knowledge is power? Or how is knowledge power? Knowledge is power because to discover is to find out what already is, and to find out what already is to discover how things work and how things do not work. Yes, the things in existence have principles which guide their workings. To know them is to know how they will work or how they will not work. There is therefore a formula for everything, and in a way, therefore, to get anything, all that is required is to discover or know the formula for getting that thing. Once the formula for getting anything is known, and one applies it well enough, one will necessarily get that thing. So knowledge empowers you because it gives you the formula for getting things. That is why we say that knowledge is power. Once you know the formula of getting things and you apply them, or you apply it, then you will necessarily get that thing. So knowledge is power because it gives you the knowledge of the formula to get things. So that is another way in which epistemology is important. In other words, epistemology is important because it gives you knowledge, and knowledge gives you power by giving you the knowledge of the formula of getting things. And once you get the formula of getting things and apply them or apply it, you will necessarily get that thing. So knowledge is power, and that is one way in which epistemology is important. Another way in which epistemology is important is that knowledge makes you expand your being. Knowledge expands your being. Knowledge makes you more capable. Knowledge makes you bigger. You know, man is a creature that is capable of expanding or increasing. The more he knows, the more he expands his being. Life is a definite phenomenon, as I said earlier, and if man knows how it works, he can adapt himself to it so that life will work for him. If life works if life works for him, he will always get the better part of life, and he will inherit the earth or whatever plane in which he exists. If he knows life or the principles of living, he will know how to live such that he will get only positive consequences. The reverse will be the case if he does not. This is what it means to say that knowledge is power. That man knows or can know presupposes that there was a time he did not know. This means that he began at an unconscious level or in a kind of sleep in quote. Every knowledge acquisition represents a rise in his level of consciousness or of awakening from sleep. The more he makes the world or the universe around him a home by getting to know more of it, the more friendly the world around him, the more friendly the world around him is, the more he can be said to have inherited the world. So, knowledge is power, and this is how knowledge empowers you. Knowledge empowers you by making you know the principles of life. And the more you know about the principles of life, or the more you know the principles of life and adjust or adapt or apply them to your life, the more you make the world or the universe around you a home. And the more friendly the world around you becomes, the more you can be said to have inherited the world. So knowledge is power, and this is where lies the importance of epistemology. Epistemology is important because it gives you knowledge, and knowledge is important because it gives you the formula to get things. And once you get the formula of getting things and you apply it well enough, you will necessarily get them. Knowledge gives you the possibility of understanding the world, and when you understand the world and adjust yourself to the understanding of the world, to the principles of the world, or you apply those principles to your life, then the world around you will become more friendly. And the more the world around you becomes more friendly, the more you can inherit the world, the more you can enjoy the world, the more the world will become a home to you. And therein lies the importance of epistemology. Thank you once again for listening. This part brings us to the end of what is epistemology. In the subsequent edition, we are going to treat another topic. So, sit down and enjoy these lectures in the various parts while I warm up for the next lecture, which is going to be on a different topic entirely. I encourage you again to send in your questions and comments so that we can address gray areas, because it is practically impossible to exhaust any topic within one lecture space. I also encourage you to like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, Philosophy Lectures with Professor Tunde Akande, and turn on the notification icon so that you can always get notified each time I upload a new video. Till I come your way again in the next video, enjoy the remaining part of the day, and bye for now.